Hey everyone, it's Alex again, and I am here today to give you the nominations for the 73rd Annual Golden Globe Awards, which came out today, December 10th, the day that I am making this video. I am not only going to go over all of the nominations for the Golden Globes, but I'm going to give you my thoughts about most of them, what I like and what I don't like, and what I feel was missing that should have been included. Because that's what happens with every award show. There's always lots of good, there's always lots of huh? And then there's always lots of, oh man, why wasn't that there? Some people are calmer about that than others. I try to be on the calm side of things because if you go online and you read message boards, you find quite a lot of passionate people, and this passion is not always exercised in the best way. Today we're here to be civil and honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read all the nominations for the Golden Globe Awards, which cover both television and film, for the year 2015. That's one of the more unique things about the Golden Globes, is that they cover both TV and movies. And not only do they do that, but they also split all the categories into comedies and dramas for both TV and for movies. So let's not waste any more time. Here are the nominations for the 73rd Golden Globe Awards. I'm going to start off with all the television nominations first. Best Actor in a Television Series, Comedy, or Musical: Aziz Ansari, Master of None; Gael Garcia Bernal, Mozart in the Jungle; Rob Lowe, The Grinder; Patrick Stewart, Blunt Talk; Jeffrey Tambor, Transparent. Best Actress in a Television Series, Comedy, or Musical: Rachel Bloom, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend; Jamie Lee Curtis, Scream Queens; Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Veep; Gina Rodriguez, Jane the Virgin; Lily Tomlin, Grace and Frankie. Best Actor in a Television Series, Drama: Jon Hamm, Mad Men; Rami Malek, Mr. Robot; Wagner Moura, Narcos; Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul; Liev Schreiber, Ray Donovan. Best Actress in a Television Series, Drama: Katrina Balfe, Outlander; Viola Davis, How to Get Away with Murder; Eva Green, Penny Dreadful; Taraji P. Henson, Empire; Robin Wright, House of Cards. Best Actor in a Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television: Idris Elba, Luther; Oscar Isaac, Show Me a Hero; David Oyelowo, Nightingale; Mark Rylance, Wolf Hall; Patrick Wilson, Fargo. Best Actress in a Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television: Kirsten Dunst, Fargo; Lady Gaga, American Horror Story Hotel; Sarah Hay, Flesh and Bone; Felicity Huffman, American Crime; Queen Latifah, Bessie. Best Supporting Actor in a Series, Limited Series, or Motion Picture Made for Television: Alan Cumming, The Good Wife; Damian Lewis, Wolf Hall; Ben Mendelsohn, Bloodline; Tobias Menzies, Outlander; Christian Slater, Mr. Robot. Best Supporting Actress in a Series, Limited Series, or Motion Picture Made for Television: Uzo Aduba, Orange is the New Black; Joanne Froggatt, Downton Abbey; Regina King, American Crime; Judith Light, Transparent; Maura Tierney, The Affair. Best Television Series, Comedy, or Musical: Casual; Mozart in the Jungle; Orange is the New Black; Silicon Valley; Transparent; Veep. Best Television Series, Drama: Empire; Game of Thrones; Mr. Robot; Narcos; Outlander. Best Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television: American Crime; American Horror Story Hotel; Fargo; Flesh and Bone; Wolf Hall. And now onto the film nominations. Best Original Score, Motion Picture: Carter Burwell, Carol; Alexander Desplat, The Danish Girl; Ennio Morricone, The Hateful Eight; Ryuichi Sakamoto and Alba Noto, The Revenant; Daniel Pemberton, Steve Jobs. Best Original Song Motion Picture. Love Me Like You Do from 50 Shades of Grey. Music and lyrics by Max Martin, Savan Kotecha, Ali Payami, and Ilya Salmanzadeh. One Kind of Love from Love and Mercy. Music and lyrics by Brian Wilson and Scott Bennett. See You Again from Furious 7. Music and lyrics by Justin Franks, Andrew Cedar, Charlie Puth, and Cameron Thomas. Simple Song Number 3 from Youth. Music and lyrics by David Lang. Writings on the Wall from Spectre. Music and lyrics by Sam Smith and Jimmy Napes. Best Animated Feature Film. Anomalisa, The Good Dinosaur, Inside Out, The Peanuts Movie, Shaun the Sheep Movie. Best Foreign Language Film. The Brand New Testament, Belgium, France, and Luxembourg. The Club, Chile. The Fencer, Finland, Germany, and Estonia. Mustang, France. Son of Saul, Hungary. Best Screenplay Motion Picture. Charles Randolph and Adam McKay, The Big Short. Quentin Tarantino, The Hateful Eight. Emma Donoghue, Room. Tom McCarthy and Josh Singer, Spotlight. Aaron Sorkin, Steve Jobs. This is the only award show where there's one screenplay category instead of two, as the Critics' Choice Awards, the BAFTAs, and the Oscars split the screenplay categories into original screenplay and adapted screenplay. Best Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture. Paul Dano, Love and Mercy. Idris Elba, Beasts of No Nation. Mark Rylance, Bridge of Spies. Michael Shannon, 99 Homes. Sylvester Stallone, Creed. Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture. Jane Fonda, Youth. Jennifer Jason Leigh, The Hateful Eight. Helen Mirren, Trumbo. Alicia Vikander, Ex Machina. Kate Winslet, Steve Jobs. Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical. Christian Bale, The Big Short. Steve Carell, The Big Short. Matt Damon, The Martian. Al Pacino, Danny Collins. Mark Ruffalo, Infinitely Polar Bear. Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical. Jennifer Lawrence, Joy. Melissa McCarthy, Spy. Amy Schumer, Trainwreck. Maggie Smith, The Lady in the Van. Lily Tomlin, Grandma. Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Drama. Bryan Cranston, Trumbo. Leonardo DiCaprio, The Revenant. Michael Fassbender, Steve Jobs. Eddie Redmayne, The Danish Girl. Will Smith, Concussion. Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Drama. Cate Blanchett, Carol. Brie Larson, Room. Rooney Mara, Carol. Saoirse Ronan, Brooklyn. Alicia Vikander, The Danish Girl. Best Director, Motion Picture. Todd Haynes, Carol. George Miller, Mad Max Fury Road. Ridley Scott, The Martian. Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, The Revenant. Tom McCarthy, Spotlight. Best Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical. The Big Short, Joy, The Martian, Spy, Trainwreck. And the last category, Best Motion Picture, Drama. Carol, Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. Okay, so time to go over these nominations and what I think about them. I'll kind of go a brief rundown of all the categories, and I'll try not to talk too much because I don't want this to be a video where I'm just rambling on and on and on and going off in all directions and saying things that have no connection to this. Alright, so Best Actor in a Television Series, Comedy, or Musical. It looks pretty good, I guess. Admittedly, I haven't seen many of these shows, but I'm not surprised at all to see Jeffrey Tambor on here because he won in this category last year, and he won at the Emmys earlier in the fall, and they're saying he'll probably win again this year, so I guess I can't be surprised about that. I'm really surprised that they didn't nominate Will Forte for Last Man on Earth, because that show's been getting a lot of high praise, and many people have always predicted Will Forte as being a potential upset for Jeffrey Tambor in all these award shows, including this one. However, here he's not nominated. Best Actress in a Television Series, Comedy, or Musical. Looks pretty good for the most part, except I'm really bummed that they didn't nominate Amy Poehler one last time for Parks and Recreation. You know, especially after she did such a good job hosting the Golden Globes 3 years in a row. And if she had been nominated here, it would have been kind of a nice consolation prize, not only for that, but also because of how good her show was, and kind of the fact that Amy Poehler has still never won an Emmy. She always keeps losing to Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So yeah, Amy Poehler should have been nominated here for Parks and Rec. So yeah, Amy Poehler should definitely have been nominated here. Best Actor in a Television Series, Drama. I'm so glad Jon Hamm is back here for the final season of Mad Men. He actually won in this category many years ago during the Mad Men's first season back in 2008, but we never got to see him give an acceptance speech because that was the year that there was a big writer's strike, and as a result the Golden Globes ceremony was canceled. The winners were still announced, but they were kind of announced, I think, by Mary Hart of Entertainment Tonight in like a 30-minute video or something, because many actors were supporting the writers and they didn't want to throw a celebration while the writers were striking. So there were winners announced, but no ceremony that year. So I'm very glad to see him here. A lot of new shows here I see. I haven't seen Mr. Robot or Narcos. I'm really shocked and kind of sad that they didn't nominate Kevin Spacey here for House of Cards, because, you know, he's so good on that show, and he won in this category last year. You know, whenever Kevin Spacey's on screen, he always pulls you in with that villainous charm he always oozes out of him. So, but best actress in a television series, drama. I really like this category. It's going to be tense to see. I think it's going to be a tight showdown between Viola Davis and Taraji P. Henson, because many thought Viola Davis would win this last year, but she didn't. She lost to Ruth Wilson for The Affair, and of course Viola Davis made history back in September when she became the first African American actress to win the Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series, and some Golden Globe voters who feel that she was robbed last year may want to reward her this year. However, Empire, you know, nobody could have predicted the huge rating success that Empire is. You know, people thought it might do okay, but they never predicted just how big of a phenomenon it would become, especially with Taraji P. Henson and her character Cookie. So because the Golden Globes love to reward the red-hot new shows, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Taraji P. Henson wins. But I'll discuss of who I think will and should win in another video once the Golden Globes ceremony draws near. But otherwise, I'm not really surprised by the nominees in this category, and I don't really have anything to complain about. Best actor in a limited series or TV movie. Looks pretty solid. I can't find any fault with it. Best actress in a limited series or TV movie. I'm kind of iffy about Lady Gaga being in there. I haven't really seen too much of American Horror Story Hotel, but I know there's like a general consensus from both TV critics and fans that the show may have kind of jumped the shark this season, particularly because of Lady Gaga being in it. I mean, some have defended her and say her acting's pretty good, but I know a lot of others have said casting her was a huge, huge mistake. So I'll be shocked if she actually wins. She probably won't, but you know, the Golden Globes, they love popularity, so I mean, granted, they don't always vote for someone just because they're the most popular nominee, but they like to fill their categories with as many popular people as possible because they want to put them all in the same room, which is both good and bad, but I can easily see all the other four actresses being more deserving to win than Lady Gaga. Alright, Best Supporting Actor in a Series, Limited Series, or TV Movie. Looks pretty solid. Can't complain. Same thing with supporting actress. And then for best television series, comedy or musical, pretty much a good chunk of these shows are like streaming shows, like Casuals on Hulu, Mozart in the Jungle and Transparent are on Amazon, and Orange is the New Black is on Netflix. And it's also interesting because Orange is the New Black is being thrown all over the place of whether it's a comedy or drama. It had competed at the Emmys last year as a comedy and at every other award show as a comedy, but earlier this year the Emmys did a 180 and said, nope, sorry, you're a drama, not a comedy. However, the Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild Awards, which I'll talk about in my next video, according to their rules, Orange is the New Black is still a comedy. Whether or not it will actually win, we'll see. But I can't really judge too much in this category, but from the ones that I am the most familiar with, I can't complain. For best television series drama, they got a lot of new series on here, which I'm not surprised because, like I said, the Golden Globes like to honor new series, but they also like to honor old series as they kind of are in their last season, kind of like what they did with Breaking Bad, which makes me very disappointed that Mad Men isn't nominated here, because a lot of people really liked what happened in the last season of Mad Men, and the series finale especially drew a lot of praise from both critics and fans, and it was that episode that helped Jon Hamm finally win an Emmy after losing like 8 times in a row. So yeah, I'm very shocked and saddened that Mad Men is not nominated here, but on the plus side, that could mean that Golden Globes voters who maybe nominated Mad Men on their ballots will now be more inclined to vote for Jon Hamm in the drama actor category. And best limited series or motion picture made for television looks pretty solid, although I've never heard of Flesh and Bone before this. I'll have to look that up, but American Crime, Fargo, Wolf Hall, all of them hugely critically acclaimed, so no surprise it should be on here. American Horror Story Hotel, kind of like what I said about Lady Gaga. There's probably going to be a mixed reaction to that because that season's gotten a lot of mixed feelings from everyone. I'm really shocked that they don't have Bessie in here, because that won Best TV Movie at the Emmys, because the Emmys split the Best TV Movie and Best Limited Series categories for just those. They keep them merged in acting, but they split with those. But yeah, but otherwise it looks pretty solid. So most of the television nominees I'm very happy with. The only thing I'm really disappointed about is that Mad Men is not nominated for Best Drama Series for its stellar final season. But otherwise, good job for the most part, Golden Globes. Alright, now onto the film categories. Best Original Score. Admittedly, 4 of these 5 films I have not yet seen. Carol, The Danish Girl, The Hateful Eight, and The Revenant have not come to my area yet. The Danish Girl comes to my area on Christmas Day, and the other 3 don't come until January. They're getting a limited release now in big cities like Los Angeles and New York, so they can be eligible for awards consideration. Steve Jobs, honestly, the score didn't stand out to me that well. No, actually, yeah, the score was pretty good now that I think about it. It was good, but I wouldn't say it was like the best score of the year. Like, some of the best scores of the year, in my opinion, were scores like Black Mass, Spotlight, The Martian. Those 3 I wish could have been on here in some way. And I'm sure, Star Wars I think will be great. Star Wars is probably not on here because most journalists haven't even seen it yet. I think it starts its screenings next Monday, because these are journalists who vote for these awards, by the way, not actors, directors, editors, etc. These are film journalists who cover Hollywood for foreign magazines who vote for these awards. So these are the writers for like the foreign equivalent of Entertainment Weekly or The Hollywood Reporter. So, but I'm sure they're great scores once I listen to them, because all of these composers are very highly acclaimed. Ennio Morricone especially, because he's got to be like in his 80s, late 80s, and he's the guy who famously wrote the scores for all those spaghetti western movies of the 1960s. that often featured actors like Clint Eastwood, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Once Upon a Time in the West. Um, he wrote the scores for those iconic movies. Best Original Song. This is going to get me a lot of hate, but hear me out on this. The one song, and I really hope this does not win, and I know some people will think I'm a heartless jerk for saying this, is See You Again from Furious 7. I've gotten into a lot of tense debates with people about this on Facebook, but in my opinion, this song is just mediocre. I like a 5 out of 10. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, but it was such a perfect tribute to Paul Walker. It captured the feeling of his death so perfectly and the departure of his character so perfectly. I get what you're saying, and yeah, I mean, I applaud it for honoring Paul Walker, I really do. But my problem is I don't like the way it's structured. I don't mind a singing, rapping collaboration, but for it to work, it has to work seamlessly. Perfect example is the song Glory from the movie Selma by John Legend and Common. That song is a perfect example of what a good singing, rapping collaboration should look like. And that song won the Oscar for Best Original Song, and deservedly so, and won the Golden Globe too. But See You Again, I just feel, with Charlie Puth and Wiz Khalifa, I feel that some of the stuff they use, like auto-tune, I feel that's pretty tasteless when you're doing a song about death and remembering somebody. And Wiz Khalifa, even though I'm not a huge rap fan, I can admire the very successful and critically acclaimed rappers like Kendrick Lamar for getting all the acclaim that they get. But with Wiz Khalifa, his style, I just don't get it. The way his rapping and Charlie Puth's singing go, it's a very abrupt transition from one to another, and it just does not flow well, in my opinion. Plus, lyrically, the lyrics are okay, I guess, but they're not deep enough for a subject matter like this. If you want like really great songs about death, listen to I Grieve by Peter Gabriel and You're Missing by Bruce Springsteen. I told people about this, the people I argue with, and they were like, well, those songs don't fit the tone of the movie because they're long, slow ballads. They're not fast, upbeat tempo. But in my opinion, that doesn't matter, because lyrically those songs are so powerful, it would have made people watching Furious 7 fall even more than they probably did after hearing this song. So if you want a great song about a serious subject matter, hire actual legendary acclaimed singer-songwriters. Okay, rant over. And Love Me Like You Do from 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, 50 Shades of Grey. I have not seen it though, but I'm well aware that most people did not like it, and probably for very good reason. That is officially a Golden Globe nominated movie. Wow. Oh boy. What if that should win? I'd heard this song on the radio 1,000 times, and I had no idea it was part of the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack, and when I found out, I was like, holy crap. Whoa. I mean, Ellie Goulding has a nice voice and all, but how much money did they offer her to sing this song, I wonder? So I don't want that to win. If this wins, we're talking about a film that has like a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, winning a big category here. So God forbid if it should get an Oscar nomination. Same thing with See You Again from Furious 7. Oscar voters, do not nominate those two songs. One Kind of Love from Love and Mercy, that was excellent. Love and Mercy, excellent film. It is one of the best music biopics I have ever seen. It's up there with Ray and Walk the Line. If you're a Beach Boys fan or a 60s music fan and you have not seen Love and Mercy yet, go buy it or rent it right now. Writings on the Wall, I've heard bits of that. It sounds okay. I know it isn't as highly acclaimed as Adele's Bond theme Skyfall, but Sam Smith, he's a pretty good singer, so if he wins here, I guess I can't be too upset. Best Animated Feature Film. I predicted these exact 5 nominees on GoldDerby.com, and they all look pretty solid to me. I haven't seen Shaun the Sheep movie. It didn't really look that appealing to me, but I guess I'll have to check it out because it got like a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. And Inside Out. that if that film was not nominated here, I would have been furious because Inside Out is one of the most innovative animated movies I have ever seen. It's one of the best movies of the year. I mean, if you have not yet seen Inside Out, and if you're a Pixar fan, see it now. You know, Inside Out, that I think will easily win. The Good Dinosaur and the Peanuts movie, I saw both of them. They were really good. I haven't seen Anomalisa yet, but that's a very adult-oriented animated movie, from what I hear, because it's got an R rating from the MPAA. But that film's been receiving a lot of wide praise from critics, so I can't fault the Golden Globes for nominating these movies here. Best Foreign Language Film. I talked about some of these in my Oscar preview, like The Club and Mustang, and Son of Saul. Son of Saul is probably going to easily win here. Son of Saul I really want to see, and I think it will come to my area eventually, but you know, that film has been getting a lot of wide praise for its depiction of the Holocaust, and since I have a degree in history, I really want to see this movie so that I can see how it portrays it. Best Screenplay Motion Picture. So this is kind of an iffy category because since it only honors just screenplays in general and doesn't split into original versus adapted, there are several great films that were unfortunately left out of here, like Room, Spotlight, and Steve Jobs. All excellent, all deserving to be in here. I haven't seen The Big Short yet because it doesn't come to my area until December 23rd, but it's been getting a lot of good reviews, so I'm hoping all the best for that. Quentin Tarantino, I can't be surprised he's here because he's considered one of the best, not only one of the best directors, but one of the best screenwriters of the modern era. But if this category could have been split into original and adapted, then I would have also loved to see films like Bridge of Spies, Inside Out, The Martian. I would have loved to see those movies in here, especially The Martian. The Martian, in my opinion, has the best screenplay of the year, and I hope that the Critics' Choice Awards and the BAFTAs and the Oscars nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. But otherwise, looks pretty good, the screenplay list. Best Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture. Paul Dano, excellent, deserves to be on here. I haven't been able to see Beasts of No Nation yet. I've been very busy, but I do have Netflix. It is on my queue to watch. I will watch it. But I hear Idris Elba's incredible. Mark Rylance, thank you. Mark Rylance was so great in Bridge of Spies. He was a great example of how you don't have to give like big dramatic monologues and speak at the top of your voice to give a great performance. His performance is kind of like very subdued, very calm, and Mark Rylance is an expert at that because Mark Rylance has won 3 Tony Awards for his work on Broadway. I mean, winning 1 Tony is big enough, but winning 3 and only in 6 years, which is what Mark Rylance did, that is incredible. So no wonder Steven Spielberg offered him this movie, and I'm so glad he took it because Mark Rylance, he's been around in movies and stuff here and there, but nobody's ever really heard of him. This is like the film to give him his big Hollywood push, and well-deserved. So Mark Rylance, I hope to see you in more movies in the future and hope to see you more at these awards ceremonies. Michael Shannon, great performance in 99 Homes. I haven't seen Creed yet, but I will once I see all the Rocky movies. So for the most part, I'm happy here, but I'm really shocked that the presumed frontrunner, Michael Keaton for Spotlight, is not on here. People were predicting Michael Keaton would not only be nominated in this category, but win. And Michael Keaton in the movie Spotlight, he's easily the best performance in the movie. I'm very disappointed that Michael Keaton is not in here. Best Supporting Actress. Looks pretty good. I haven't seen Youth yet. Haven't seen Trumbo yet, but Jane Fonda and Helen Mirren both got acclaim for their performances. Alicia Vikander in Ex Machina. Very glad to see her here. That was a phenomenal movie. Kate Winslet for Steve Jobs. In my opinion, she's given the greatest supporting actress performance of the year so far, so thank God she's in here. Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical. Thank God Matt Damon is in here for The Martian. He he spends so much time in that movie having to like make vlogs uh, in the hopes of them being sent back to Earth when he's stranded on Mars, and the way he does it in such a way that's not only funny but keeps you interested, and because there's like a lot of scientific jargon that he uses, and The Martian is my favorite film of the year so far, and I really hope he wins here. Al Pacino and Danny Collins. I'm actually really glad he's nominated here because that was kind of a movie that came and went under the radar back in like April around here, and you know, like if you were upset about Al Pacino appearing in movies like Jack and Jill, and this film redeemed that. Danny Collins, it's not the greatest film ever, but Al Pacino was so good in that movie. He plays like a rock star who tries to reconnect with the son he never knew, and he actually does his own singing in the movie, and he's actually pretty good. So I actually did buy Al Pacino as this old rock star. So good for him, and kind of a nice consolation prize too, because Al Pacino is currently starring in a Broadway play right now called China Doll, which was written by the legendary playwright David Mamet. And unfortunately, that play has been pretty trashed by the critics, but it seems for good reason, because I hear like the whole storyline and structure of the play is like apparently god awful. Like Best Actress in a Motion Picture Comedy or Musical. Pretty solid list here. I haven't seen The Lady in the Van or Grandma yet, but both Maggie Smith and Lily Tomlin were getting a lot of great reviews for their performances, so I can't fault them there. I haven't seen Joy yet, but I'm a little skeptical because Joy is being directed by David O. Russell, and I personally think David O. Russell's directing style is really over the top, and I think he's very overrated as a director in terms of all the praise he gets. So, you know, I felt both Silver Linings Playbook and American Hustle got way more critical and Oscar love than they deserved. They deserved some love, don't get me wrong, but they both got like in the 90s on Rotten Tomatoes. Silver Linings Playbook got 8 nominations at the Oscars. American Hustle got 10. They didn't deserve that many. They could have each gotten 5 nominations each, and that would have been perfect. So, but I like Jennifer Lawrence a lot. I personally don't think David O. Russell is the best director for her, but I hope Joy proves me wrong. I really want it to. But Spy was really funny, and Trainwreck was really funny. And up until I saw Trainwreck, I had never seen any of Amy Schumer's work, not even her TV show. But Trainwreck, you know, I don't really like raunchy comedies, but I'm really glad that it was not only as funny as it was, but how serious it was when it needed to be. So I give Judd Apatow and Amy Schumer props for that. Kind of same with Spy, although that's more of a spy spoof genre movie. I like where it went, with the exception of Jason Statham, because I thought he was just god-awful there. Ugh, I know I'm in the minority there, but I could have just not dealt with. I just did not need him in that movie. But Melissa McCarthy, absolutely phenomenal, and a much needed redemption for her after the horrible wreck that was Tammy. Ugh. All right. Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama. Looks pretty solid. I haven't seen Concussion yet. That comes out Christmas Day, but many critics have said it's one of Will Smith's best performances. Eddie Redmayne looks phenomenal in The Danish Girl, and Michael Fassbender, the first time he walks on screen in Steve Jobs, he's not just acting like Steve Jobs, he is Steve Jobs. And he just becomes Steve Jobs instantly, and you totally forget you're watching an actor. Leonardo DiCaprio, here he's phenomenal in The Revenant, but like I said, it doesn't come to my area until January. But shockingly, Johnny Depp is not in here for Black Mass, which is pretty disappointing because he was so great in that movie. He perfectly captured the insanity of James Whitey Bulger, just not only from just his personality, but just his look, because James Whitey Bulger is a very scary looking man. And you know, I kind of blame this on just not being enough room, which is a shame, and Trumbo getting kind of a last minute push, whereas Black Mass came out all the way back in September. But we still have the Oscars, and Johnny Depp did get a nomination for the Screen Actors Guild Awards, which I'll talk about in my other video. So it's disappointing, but we can't be too angry because this is probably just a case of there simply not being enough room. Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. Room is the only one I've seen so far just because of the way these movies have been released in my area, but Brie Larson, absolutely phenomenal. Just wow. That movie, from the concept, it's a movie that could have been done wrong if not in the hands of the right actress or director, but Brie Larson and the director of Room, Lenny Abrahamson, I think his name is, they just create movie magic. Room, easily one of the best movies of the year. But the interesting thing here is that Rooney Mara and Alicia Vikander for Carol and the Danish Girl respectively, they're being considered for those movies in the Best Supporting Actress category for other award shows like the Screen Actors Guild Awards and probably the Critics' Choice and the Oscars too. But who knows, they may end up getting nominated in lead performances there, but we'll see. Best Director Motion Picture. Very solid list. I can't fault it. I was surprised Mad Max Fury Road got in there. I mean, it was a great movie, but I didn't think the Golden Globe voters would love it that much. But in the process, it kind of knocked out people like Steven Spielberg for Bridge of Spies. But Best Motion Picture, Comedy or Musical looks pretty solid. We'll see how I feel about The Big Short and Joy once I see them. And Best Motion Picture Drama looks really solid. Can't really fault it. So yeah, I'm very pleased overall with the film nominations. I guess the only things I'm disappointed about is like Black Mass, Spotlight not getting Best Original Score nominations, having Love Me Like You Do and See You Again in the Best Original Song category, not having The Martian in Best Screenplay, not having Michael Keaton for Best Supporting Actor, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, I like all these nominees. I think this is probably one of the strongest Golden Globe nominations list I've ever seen, because the Golden Globes, they have a flip-flop. They flip-flop a lot in terms of the quality of their nominations. Sometimes they're very good and they're very on par with what we'll see at like the Screen Actors Guild Awards, the Critics' Choice Awards, the BAFTAs, the Oscars. But then other times they have these nominations that just come out of nowhere and you're like, why? Like Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie getting nominated for The Tourist, and The Tourist getting nominated for Best Film in the comedy category, because that movie was both a critical and box office bomb. Or like that movie Burlesque, that musical starring Cher and Christina Aguilera, that got several nominations the same year as The Tourist, and that movie too was a critical and box office bomb, and that kind of like made a lot of critics and cinephiles go, what the hell is wrong with these people? But this year, the Golden Globe voters, I think, did a very good job. I'll be very excited to see what the voters of other award shows do in the future. So those are my thoughts overall. Please let me know in the comments section below what you think of the nominations. Who are you most excited about? Which of these nominees do you wish had not been nominated? And which people do you think should have been nominated but weren't? I'll be very interested to hear your thoughts. That's all I have to say for today. So see you guys later. Bye.